myself. Yeah. I'm feeling myself.
Welcome back to another episode of Loose Ends, everyone. I'm Cece.
I'm Val.
And today we want to talk about the Super Bowl, which just happened. And we've already posted the Monday episode. I mean, the Super Bowl was, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
And we were both kind of like, ho-hum on the game, because I'm really glad that, well, I will tell you. I will say, because I'm the football fan. She's not. We'll get to really why we want to talk about the Super Bowl, which really is not about the football at all. But wasn't it great? All of you who are Philly fans or who are not, like, it's what's the anti-Chiefs fans, which is the category that I fall into, because they consistently beat Lamar and the Ravens, right? Yeah. And so, like, I have a little bit of hate going on for them and Mahomes in the same way that I used to have a lot of hate going on for Brady and the New England Patriots. But then he went to Tampa and now he's retired, so, fuck him. But anyway, back to, sorry, I went off.
Alrighty.
It's a tradition in my household. If Tom Brady's name is mentioned, you just go, fuck him. So it came out. So that's just all very personal to me. However, the game itself, I mean, I knew at the end of the first quarter, I was like, the score at the half is going to be 24-7. That's what I thought. And they didn't even make it to 7, the Chiefs. So they completely fell apart. It was not so much an interesting game as it was an amazing halftime show.
Oh.
So, Val, we
on the edge of our seats the whole flippin'
Well, you weren't
show.
Here.
No, I was. Oh,
no,
I was here for half
home,
of it. And then I rewatched it. Yeah.
I will also admit that I'm, see, in this older generation. Thank God for my music savvy son who keep me informed a wee bit. But I was aware of Kendrick Lamar's
popularity,
purported genius.
Yes,
that's what had filtered through to my conscious awareness, was that he was a rapper and that he was somehow involved in a contretemps, a little bit of a disagreement of some sort, a little trashing, a little Capulet and whatever. It was
Drake.
With Drake.
Yeah.
And that made it through my consciousness because, of course, I live here in Canada. However, I didn't understand it. I didn't know what it was. I just knew that somehow Kendrick had come out sort of on top a little bit, but that was all I knew. And then you informed me that he had won Record of the Year.
Yeah, just at the Grammy song.
A week ago? What?
For that song. Yeah, like less than a week. And he actually won 5 Grammys, I believe, that night.
So give your impression of it, because you said we both sat there and then I said, oh no, you weren't even here. But I will tell you, because I am not a rap connoisseur.
Right.
which is shit. I know nothing about these guys. I watch their mouths move. I listen to the rap. I love Eminem. I've always been impressed with his wordsmithing and his ability to get him out of his mouth that fast. I don't understand how anybody can talk like that.
Yeah. But and with that sort of slang that he uses,
performance from the moment it started, and the fact that it was Apple Music produced, and you can see the Apple values coming through in that production.
Yeah.
From the moment it started, I was blown away.
Well, and that's because people knew they were watching something incredible. They didn't
had no idea what he was saying.
And that's been the consensus of white people, but black people have divided white people into 2 parts, literally. Either you're the people who literally go on the comments, that was the worst halftime show ever, or you are the white people who literally go, you know what, I'm going to deep dive this, and they do. Me too. And you go deep diving and look for what happened and how it started and and the things he said, and it wasn't just about the Drake song. That was huge. but it was his fuck you to Trump, to the whole administration of, DEI, and like he said it all. Like he was like,
so for those of you who may or may not have seen this, if you have not seen it, I highly encourage you to go and watch the 12-minute summation from start to finish of the entire show. One of the things I enjoyed the most was that there wasn't a lot of movement, that the camera didn't jump from this angle to that angle and take me away from this piece of the show. It was all pretty much Kendrick Lamar in front of the camera with those guys, a couple of aerial shots, a couple of different, to give you a sense of scope.
But that was also quite like manufactured, the way they did it. Like there was one shot at the top where all the blues and the reds were lying on the ground, and the whites were just standing.
So explain.
And
so all these dancers come out in red, white, and blue, loose-fitting kind of hoodies, but
and I think
casual clothing.
I think what we're failing to realize is we're seeing it as Bloods and Crips. Or sorry, as Republican and Democrats,
but it's not.
But it's not just. It is about that, but it's about more. It's about saying you're going to push us all to unite. It doesn't matter what our differences are going to be. We're all going to come together on this because you're coming after all of us. And it's like, I've always said, if aliens came fucking down ready to hurt us and harm us, am I going to give a fuck what color the guy next to me is fighting for this world? Probably fucking not.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
True. That's true.
That's the mentality. Is the government of America has now declared war on Black people and Hispanic people and just anybody of difference.
Mm-hmm.
So this Kendrick Lamar managed to stage a completely peaceful protest in front of the fucking president.
I loved, and the president was there. So for those of you who did not see it, and I just encouraged you to go watch it so that I don't have to explain it. But those of you, there are many that listen to this broadcast while they're on the road, and they're not going to be, looking up on YouTube, watching this for the next 12 minutes.
But a lot of people saw it too.
So let me tell you from my perspective, what I saw first time I saw it was a performer who can rap. What I saw was a man who is extremely comfortable in his own skin and comfortable in front of a camera. As I say, he is a performer. And Lady Gaga is a performer. There are certain artists.
Madonna's a performer.
Yeah.
Whereas Mariah Carey's a singer.
Right.
Celine Dion is a singer.
There you go.
So there are differences.
There are differences in that. So my first impression was one of being, who is this guy? Well, I know who he is, kind of, that peripheral thing. But whoa, let me get a sense. Let me at least try to figure out what the fuck he's saying. Because who can tell?
But
by the fifth time I watched it, I could discern the words and I could oh
shit.
But having Samuel L. Jackson introduce it
as Uncle Sam. Ooh, that must have hurt Elon Musk.
Right. And then saying go ahead. You know how to play the game. And then he comes out with his, and then I've got the world stage. You've got the biggest world stage or something, but you got the wrong guy.
But the revolution will be televised because what was it, 50 years ago or 40 years ago when that expression came out? It was the revolution won't be televised. That's how that expression started. So he's like correcting them, saying at this point, and then turn your TV off. And this is what I've really noticed is, I haven't been on Facebook hardly at all because I don't trust the sources coming through Facebook anymore.
No, I don't either.
I don't
100%.
Yeah, I don't 100% trust TikTok, but I trust it more. But I trust it more because what's happening, and this is the beautiful thing, because I really do enjoy living in this time. The beautiful thing about living in this time, and this exact same thing happened in the 30s, late 30s and 40s, right? The exact same things happened as it's happening now. The difference is we can find sources that are actually running the truth. You can find all the protests all over, and it can't be shut up anymore. You can't, you're going to get it out. There are a lot of Americans out there right now that don't understand that Canada is preparing for war with the United States.
I don't think
They
they
don't.
get
No,
it.
they don't. They don't
get it.
Because they're not hearing about it, Cynthia. They're not hearing about it.
Who
The American people
are not hearing about
what
Are
Trump
you sure?
wants to. There's some who are, but most aren't. It's not allowed in their media. They've taken over the media. They took CNN out of the Pentagon. They have taken over the media. And so this is exactly what Hitler did. But the difference is Hitler didn't have all these people, which are billions and billions more than he had in the world back then.
Yeah.
And they all got fucking cameras. And somewhere around 2010, this whole fucking world changed. Not only did it become, a lot more technically advanced, it became accessible to anybody and everybody. So the whole fucking world has got a camera. The whole world's got a phone.
Even if you're dirt poor in India,
right,
you have a phone.
You have a phone.
Yeah.
So everybody is watching now.
Yeah.
And it's not that easy when everybody's watching. It's just not.
Well, everybody's watching right now, and as it happened, and this does not happen often, but I had an appointment today. We are filming on a Tuesday. Yes, this is a Tuesday. And so I kind of, as I say, wish we'd done this in response to the Super Bowl thing immediately, but hey, you're getting a week later.
Yeah.
And when I got back, I flipped on the radio, which I had going in the background on my computer, radio station, and they were plugged into, I don't want to use his name, but the Orange Cheeto he was meeting with the president of Jordan.
Yes.
And the king of Jordan. And they were talking about how they were going to handle this. They don't call it the Palestinian issue. It's called Gaza. And he has announced that it's happening. That he is going to take, and I heard the reporters pressing. There was one woman in particular, you could tell she was outraged. She was like, no, tell me, no, we're going to move these people. And she's like, sir, how can you move 2 million people? We're going to do it quickly. It'll be easy. It'll be beautiful. They're going to live in beautiful places. What about those people that don't want to leave because it's their homeland? They don't have a homeland. Their homeland is rubble. It's going to take years. They're never going to be able to live there again. But if we come in and clean it up and we're going to take it over, he said that. He said it out loud. He said, we're going to take it. And so I think there's going to be quite a bit of a backlash to that. Now, I don't know by the time this video is posted, which will be a week. It'll be
a week and 2 days.
It'll be 5 days from now. Whatever. Not a weekend. It'll because it's next Monday. Because I'm going to do this one before another one, right?
Yeah.
Things get moved around because world events happen. And as much as I don't really want to talk about the political situation or the people who are directing that right now, it is absolutely affecting the energy. And this is what, going back to what you were saying, people don't understand that Canada's preparing for war.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want you to let that sink in for a second. There are people who know me, who watch, there are people who don't. I'm from the United States. And there are people still living there who are going about business as usual because that's the only way they can cope. I get it.
Well,
but we, and I'm using we, are getting ready in a very quiet way, because that's our way. In a very quiet way.
That is our
checking all the cans at the grocery store, only buying what is Canadian produced. They are taking, not to the streets, but to
The grocery stores.
And to the public,
yeah.
the public opinion.
Well, let me tell
It's
you.
actually uniting the country in a
let
way
me tell you
ahead
what
of an
happened.
election that hasn't in a long time.
Let me tell you what happened. It was a miraculous thing. The United States got banned from TikTok for 24 hours.
When was this?
This was when they did the ban, and then Trump became the savior, and they made a deal.
Oh, right. Yeah,
next
the 24-hour thing.
Okay,
right.
so the 24-hour ban, right? But this was the worst thing that you as a country going to war with Canada could have done, because what happened was all of the sudden we started seeing Canadian content again. We started seeing European content again, South African content, all this content from all over the world without the United States dominating the content of. And so they started collectively like grouping that and going, we're going to call it Commonwealth. We're all a part of this Commonwealth, talk. Instead of TikTok, it's Commonwealth talk. And they can have the rest of TikTok, and we're going to, fill this with our algorithm, and we're going to make sure that we keep feeding each other. So now constantly Canadian content is coming up on my feed because I'm following everybody Canadian, and that's what everybody's doing, a mass following. So they strategically, when they did this to put their own people in line. But what happened is it made the rest of us outside of their borders.
Who own people? They did what?
So the United States banned TikTok,
right?
Basically to censor their own people.
Well, they did it because security, national security interests, she air quotes,
yes,
because of Chinese ownership.
Yeah. Right.
And so, as I understand it, that was about the ban, and that they wanted, they had to sell it.
Yes. So, which came back to my previous comment that I don't 100% trust TikTok because they made a deal with Trump, and they've changed a lot of their algorithms where that you do see red state stuff. Okay.
Okay.
So, but with what happened with Commonwealth came in and went, no. We're not even going to give you the energy. We're going to give each other the energy now. And now all of these people who are blue from the States are like, can I join Commonwealth? And they join. So it's beginning a movement.
We see, I'm not on TikTok.
I know, and this is why I say, I know you know, I love TikTok because I do actually learn a lot. Like, I didn't know anything about, what's his name, Jalen Hurts, who won the most valuable player.
Yeah.
Wonderful guy. I learned so much on TikTok with this. He's just a great,
I'm going to turn her into a football fan.
But you know what? But it's like the Swifties, right? Like they're watching football because they'll see her. Like, when I hear stories like this, he has this little Down syndrome boy. He must have made 5-6 videos with this kid. Every time he sees this kid, a video gets made. It's just so darling, and he's just such a wonderful human being. Yeah. And he always he presents himself with such class.
Yes, he's a very cool, calm, collected guy.
Yeah, like he has such class, and that was so I wouldn't know about these people. The quarterback
of the Commanders, whose name I'm blanking on right now, but it'll come to me. Daniels, whatever. He's got that same sense of gravitas at an early age, young,
truth
natural leadership often presents.
If it wasn't for TikTok, I'd know nothing about that.
Okay, so yay TikTok.
So I appreciate that, and I appreciate what's happening on TikTok and what's
so TikTok. Let's rewind, and we started with the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
we are coming back to Kendrick, but he kicked off this notion of this is a political statement. This is a revolution in public on national TV to 182 million or what? I don't know what the numbers actually were. I'm making that number up, but I know it was a whole bunch of people watched that, and so that led to what Trump's done. And the Gaza thing, which led also to this notion of, the tariffs and Canada uniting, and my little passionate thing about we're preparing for war. I have gone into that place of, and it is not, some people can say, well, is it fatalistic? Are you survivalist or whatever?
Well,
no, I believe in being
maybe,
prepared.
and maybe for God's sake, I was given these instincts for a reason. They're fucking screaming at me.
You too.
It's screaming.
We haven't had any.
We don't talk.
Conversation.
We don't talk about it because we're trying to keep everything and hold the vibration.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to do. So yes, but I'm screaming inside because something's coming and I don't know fucking what it is.
And so the way to prepare for that is to remember. Why was it? I just saw a doctor anyway. It doesn't matter what it was about, but think of a dentist sometimes. If you've got enough of I had to have a crown replaced recently, and that's because long ago and far away I had a crown put on. Well, I don't remember the discomfort of that because it was 40 years ago. But apparently crowns have lifespan. Who knew? And so now I've got to have that replaced. It's like the dentist said to me, it gets a little messy during, and it gets messier before it's all cleaned up. Same as if you're cleaning out your closet. Same at wintertime. All the leaves fall off. There are natural ebbs and flows. There are political cycles. There are growth cycles. When we age, we don't get our wisdom teeth at age 2. If you're going to get wisdom teeth, it's in your early 20s, or late teens. But there are natural stages. And I think we are in the midst of an actual change in our perspective on what humanity can be, should be, is, used to be, all of these different kinds of ideas. We've got the radical right over here. I don't know, I'm just going off, step in anytime. A radical right over here going, we need to go back to the 1950s where women knew their place.
No, I think it's 1776, actually. I don't think they want to go back to the 50s. I think
they still want their flushing toilets.
No, but they want to walk around in Walmart and everywhere else with guns. This is about more.
For protection.
Yeah, but
from
what?
From the other guys with guns.
From what? The
Come
black
on,
guy?
everybody's
The
got
black
a gun.
guy? That's all it comes down to.
That's like a teenager going, I want a smartphone. All my friends have one. And you've laid down the law in your family going, no, you're 11 years old. You don't get a smartphone. Yeah. You're a little girl. And we know the potential dangers inherent in that. So no, you don't get one, but you feel like an outcast. So if you're in Texas, you know what? Chances are you would get a gun. And I know people who have said, listen, I'm getting a gun.
It
and
crossed
they are good
my
people.
Mind, Valerie, go learn how to shoot.
I've had the same thought.
And it's just, I'm not a violent person. I don't, but you know what?
No.
I've heard some of these, these Trumpers talk. We just come in and take it. You insolent fucking children.
No, why wouldn't they talk that way? Daddy just said he was going in and taking Gaza. Verbatim quote. It is going to be in the papers. Those of you who are listening to this and you're like, oh, well, this is old news. So, well, it ain't right now because it only came out an hour ago. And we're both pretty pissed off that this is happening in plain sight.
We're going to place them somewhere beautiful? No, you mean you're going to ethnically cleanse the area.
The journalist asked, why can't will they be allowed to come back? No, he didn't even flinch. He didn't hesitate. No, they'll be somewhere else, somewhere beautiful. They'll love it. It has nothing to do with the fact that they will be separated from the land that they consider their homeland. How would we feel if we were ripped up? How would he feel?
Well, but that's what we're in threat of.
From Mar-a-Lago.
That's what we're in threat of, because don't for a second think this is just about a trade war. We are sitting on fucking minerals that make us fucking valuable.
Water,
valuable,
and lumber, and
it's we are sitting on shit that makes us. If you took us,
a lot of land. I know the United States has a lot of interior land. You can lose yourself and find a lot of You can find those people up there in the hills. I know that Canada if you can find your way there.
Yeah.
But in Canada, we got the cold going for us. And here's something. The people south of the border don't understand at a level that you must live in order to understand. You don't get the cold. You don't get it.
Yeah.
You have no clue what cold is.
No.
You have no clue how to operate in real cold and real snow. Life doesn't stop up here.
Nope.
We got 6 inches more sitting in our driveway right now. Okay?
And it's been, let me just clarify. It's been twice a week. It's been twice a week for like about 5 weeks that we get dumped on at least 6 inches each time. Yeah.
Oh, and then what's his name? Who came?
Theo. He was our rescuer.
Shout out to Theo, who was probably, 14, 15, 16 max?
But man, that kid made a killing on our street.
And I said, he knock, would you like me to do your drive? I was in my bathrobe in the morning. I said, are you kidding? We've been waiting for you.
We already have a guy who mows our lawn.
Hey, you're our guy, man. You're our guy now. And I said, how much for the driveway? He goes, whatever you want to pay. And I was like, what?
So I gave him 20, and I was like, give him 20 bucks.
I only had 15 cash on me, and she had 20, so he got 35 for a little driveway.
You know what? It saves my back. It saves your back. We're good.
Oh, it was so great.
It was lovely.
Yeah, so he'll be back.
Yeah.
But I said, don't bother until it's over 6 inches.
But we do. We know how to live in winter.
Right. There's the point.
The
point is, good luck trying to catch all of us with guns in the woods when we know how to survive out there.
And here's the thing.
And you don't.
Canada was slightly divided, even 4 months ago, 3 months ago, 2 months ago, before Justin resigned, basically, because everybody, had not everybody, but everybody on that sort of side was like, fuck Trudeau, had him on their cars. It was really insulting. It apparently really hurt our prime minister as well. Every time him and his...
This was New Year's.
Yeah, every time him and his children saw it, I'm sure it really bothered him. And truthfully, it bothered me. I don't think that's respectful. I don't think you walk up to our prime minister while he's on a ski hill with his family and go, fuck you, I hate you. I think that's just...
personalizing politics.
It's absurd behavior. And
anyway,
this whole thing has united even the fuck Trudeau people. They're like, nope, you're not coming into our country. And there is a small margin of people who are like, yeah, we'll be the 51st day. And everybody in the country is jumping on that shit going, you need to be fucking deported to the United States, lose your fucking citizenship, your healthcare, everything, because you do not deserve to be a Canadian. People are pissed. They're like, no, you don't get to do that. This is our country.
It's kind of a joke. It's like to a lot of the people that I have heard from or seen posts from, and there are some that are equally as outraged, so don't get me wrong. There are many who don't understand. It's like, but this is just Trump being Trump. That's just the way he talks, No, just the way he talks.
You know what?
Has had real life. Like, this is the energy. When you go to the grocery store, when I go out, I can feel it. We can feel it. The whole nation.
Yes.
Based on our little corner of it.
You know what? Fuck you, Trump. You don't get to grab our fucking beaver. That's all. Our fucking beaver is the national animal. That's our animal.
Well, beaver is another word for pussy.
Right, I know. I was very play on words there. Fuck you. You don't get to grab our beaver. So fuck off.
Let's go up there and grab him by the beaver.
Fuck right off.
When you're bigger than them, they let you do it.
And I think you don't, there's some critical information that you don't really realize. Like, for example, some of the last wars that the United States have been involved in, they haven't exactly won. Canada's never lost a war. Okay? I need you to understand that. They've never lost a war. And so, let's just put that in perspective. Like, sometimes being so gung-ho and stupid, you just have a bunch of fucking teenagers with guns. That's all you have.
All right, I'm about to blow my nose. And it's starting to do that really tickle thing. So I'm going to say we're going to take a little break and be right back. We're back.
Back to Kendrick.
Okay. We're back to Kendrick.
Well, one of the things that I found really fantastic is, first of all, not a white person in that show. Good for you. Good for you. You are spreading your culture, and I appreciate that. And I think all of us who watched it appreciated it. Some of the things I saw, and some of the symbolisms of basically when some of the dancers went down, it really had, from an aerial view, the understanding that America was built on the backs of Black people. And you need to, come to terms with that and stop.
I think I would like to read some critiques, of people who know more about Kendrick, about his messaging, about his climb, his story than I do. But
I've heard some, most of the negative stuff I've heard from black guys usually are Black guys that sort of live in a white world. They're very whitewashed. Is
that what they call them?
Well, yeah, like one guy was like, I was at the Super Bowl and the whole box was white people and none of them understood. I didn't really understand. And
well,
it was
I'm sure they didn't understand.
I didn't understand it at first.
They choose not to try. There's the issue.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking grandmother who still knows the words and the steps to all the Supreme songs in the 1960s. Yeah. Who heard the other day on the TV a commercial, I'm taking a little detour, a scenic detour into my history here, a commercial, like it was included in a movie or something. It was a clip, and it was in the background of the movie that I was watching, but it was the first time that the Beatles came on Ed Sullivan.
Oh, yes.
And I remembered that moment because I was 11 years old.
Wow.
I snuck into and turned on the TV. I got caught.
Yeah, but it was worth it, I imagine.
It was.
Yeah, I mean, now, today you get to say you saw that.
That is the equivalent of having a smartphone at 11 back then.
Right.
Because I could say I saw it.
Yeah.
Close your eyes and I'll kiss you. Oh, and I heard the song and I swear to God, I was.
And then watching the girls just lose their shit.
Well, I never did that. But I did learn every song and every, back in the day of albums. We would learn every lyric in a row. We would learn all the songs in a row, right? You like you could sing the beginning of the album to the end of the album. Yeah. Right?
I remember those days.
Yeah. Anyway, so Kendrick, I was blown away. I thought it was an amazing performance, and a political message with which I happen to agree. So, I'm a little biased that way.
Yeah, me too.
And the way he delivered it with supreme confidence. So as I said,
I feel like Kendrick Lamar is that one fucking person that is in the music industry that is as fucking real as it gets and didn't fall and didn't go to the Diddy parties, didn't go there and
do the Diddy,
I really do think that there are a select few, but
Drake,
none have ever gotten that
Drake
big.
Went that route.
I'm Canadian. I think Drake is about 10 years younger than me. I did watch him, in the 90s in Degrassi. He's basically like a Disney kid, but Canada.
Gotcha.
Britney's and brought up and made to be successful in this industry because you arced. Basically, you're not real.
Well, I heard that his father is the songwriter, and his father's kind of wrote most of the songs. And so, anyway, it's been an interesting little journey. But let's just put it this way. For those of you who don't know and probably don't care about the Kendrick and Drake contretemps, as I called it, here's all you need to know. The Super Bowl halftime show was, in the wrestling world, a takedown and pin in the first 30 seconds of the first whistle. It was the same fucking takedown of Drake by Lamar as the Philadelphia Eagles took down Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Yeah, because
it was so weird to have those parallel kind of takedowns if you got it.
And you had how many people in the stadium does that fit?
I don't know.
Like
80,000?
80,000 people screaming A minor
for the song that won. That's all about
so,
the you know what. And we are at 35 minutes, and we're going to stop.
Yes,
because you're.
But it was a lot. My take on the whole Super Bowl thing. It was the best words I got. I saw this guy on a video say, you know what, I grew up, doing drama school, and I knew Shakespeare was great, but I didn't understand it. But I still learned it, and because I knew it was a piece of great literature. And he said, I watched that Super Bowl not knowing anything of what he said, but knowing I was watching something spectacular unfold. I felt that exact same way.
So did I.
Because I did walk in on the best part, and that was when Kendrick Lamar started singing
Not Like Us.
Yeah, They're Not Like Us.
They're Not Like Us is the Grammy-winning song of the year.
Yeah.
And if you haven't heard it, because I do know that some of my listeners, some of my previous clients, and I know there are people out there that just listen, because I talk to them every so often, and they tell me, oh, I listen to your show, but it's not reflected anywhere. They're like, who is this person? I never heard of them before. So here's what I'm saying to you. Check it out.
Check it out, because
that halftime show. It's on YouTube. Just YouTube search, and you will find it. 12 minutes, and you'll go, I have no clue what he was saying. I understand you don't. Watch the performance and know that what he's saying is so, it's like philo.
It's layers upon layers
and layers. And somebody, I don't know who, I want to research this. I'll do a deep dive on it. I really haven't done it yet, but I've watched a few things. Who choreographed it?
Right.
It was brilliant.
Brilliant.
If you know anything about choreography. And whoever came up with that deserves some sort of Emmy for that production.
Yeah. And you know what? Here's what I'm realizing. And I said this to you a couple of weeks ago. I said, fuck, it really pisses me off that this didn't happen in my 30s, because I was a prime. Now I'm 54 and I don't feel like I can be the warrior in the fight anymore. But that's why you have to get to know people like, Kendrick Lamar, because this is our future. Those are the people that are going to lead us out of this shit. And we need to come into a world of, some kind of unity, and fuck all this war talk, and get to a place of being right with God, and not this bullshit over the top Christianity nonsense.
I saw a report on why religion is dying, and why so many people don't associate with a religion anymore, or in their language. And part of this research was how many people affiliate themselves with a parish. And in whatever it was 72%, and now it's 48%, or something like that. And so it's like, well, where did they go and why? And so they're trying to figure that out. And I'm like, well, it's real simple. It's so simple.
It's called science.
Well, it's not even science. I mean, we can make a case for the mystery of the divine. Okay, I get that. And I mean, I've spent my entire professional career pursuing that.
Me too.
I get that. I'm not talking about that so much. It's more it's such a heavy topic. And
Go.
again.
I'm all in, man. I'm all in.
What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. I remember now. The answer is simple why people are not affiliating with parish. First of all, we've become a much more mobile society. We don't stay in one area. We don't join things as much as readily in person. We do it online. We have these faux sense of connections. The second thing is, I think for a lot of, and I'm making massive generalizations here, hypocrisy. I hear you saying one thing, but I'm watching you do something else. So there's way too many good Christians.
Yeah.
Who are doing Christian things. Anyway, no, we are not going down this path, or this will turn into an hour discussion. Okay, so feel good story.
Oh,
And
I have a couple.
Watch Kendrick. Just watch it one time.
I'm actually going to say one, and I'll do one for the next one. But this is a great one because it's coming up this weekend. Okay, so TikTok ran this video of this woman probably in her early 30s at her house, and this little old man from across the street named Doug gave her an invitation that was handwritten, and it had a little snowflake on it and everything, and it was to Doug's winter party, February 15th, 4 p.m. till the cops come. That's what this invitation said. So anyway,
who made it?
This little old man that lived across the street, Doug.
So there's a real Doug.
There's a real Doug,
okay.
yes.
And he left it on somebody else's...
So he came over and he handed it to her, a personal invitation. He was inviting some of the neighbors to Doug's winter party.
Okay.
So she recorded this on TikTok, and this goddamn thing went viral, and people all over the world...
How old is Doug?
Doug's got to be in his mid-80s.
Oh, okay. So
like, he's an old guy, lost his wife a few years ago. And nobody knows where he lives, but he lives in Canada somewhere. But anyway, all over the world... And I'm not kidding you. Look it up. Doug's winter party. It's everywhere. There are people in Germany, and they're all getting spots together. Places in Toronto, all over, like in the States, in Texas, where they're meeting in Texas for Doug's winter party. And like, so this is like gone like absolutely fucking shitfire viral. And this
Shitfire viral.
But the funny thing is,
new level of
people are like from breweries that own breweries all over like North America going, Doug, I want to send you some booze for your party. And they're like, and so he now has a P.O. box that you can send anything for Doug's winter party. And I just implore you that if you're not busy on the 15th and you got nothing to do, look up in your neighborhood where Doug's winter party is going to be and go celebrate with the world, because everybody's
it's on the 14th?
15th, not Valentine's Day, the day after.
Okay.
So, which is the day my mom died. So Doug, maybe
we think her mom had something to do with the
maybe
choice
whispered
of
in
the
Doug's
date.
ear or something and said, "Have a party, Doug, so the world
the fact
can
that he's
know."
Canadian.
And he is Canadian, but I just think it's like one of the most adorable stories I've ever followed, and I'm so looking forward to seeing how people,
I'm sure
because the caption was
all over.
4 p.m. till the cops come. So I mean, come on, Doug. Like, that's just awesome.
Well, we hope you have as much fun this week as we did during this
episode.
episode.
And next episode, we're doing something fun. So keep come back.
Yeah, we've decided we're going to just keep doing this and having fun as long as it's fun. Yeah. And there may be weeks that we miss in the future. I'm doing some traveling in the not too distant future. I've got a couple places I'm going, and it's not vacation-y stuff. It's just stuff needs to do. And so, there might be a week where you don't get a new episode, but I'm pretty anal about that. So most of the time, even if I'm traveling.
We took 1 week off this year.
We tried it
last year.
I know.
1 week.
1 week.
And it actually trailed into this year.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Have a great week, everybody.
Have a good week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Am I stopping?